What were you just doing?
Dancing.
We need some like theme music, you know, that like.
I need an intro. I need an intro.
Yeah, we totally need an intro.
We just can't do that for live though, because you can't like play the intro.
Yeah, you
Not
know,
on Facebook Live. If we did that on YouTube, you could.
Oh, can you?
No.
How do you do YouTube Live? We've never done a YouTube Live.
You just go live. But the cool thing about like YouTube or Twitch and stuff like that is you can pause it, go to like an intermission screen or like an intermission video, and you could pause it, go to an intermission video for my intro, and let us come back. Did you not know you could do
Whoa! No, I did not know we could do that.
that? Yeah. Cool technology information.
Technology. Yeah, okay. So maybe we need to figure out how to do
Oh,
that.
hold on. You know what? They need to see the logo on my shirt. There we go. My hair was covered.
I'm wearing the same shirt. So we'll let some people hop. We'll let some people hop on here. We got on just a few minutes early, so. And I know that a lot of Oklahoma City is going to be getting ready to thunder the up. So, you know, that's kind of why we did this at 6 o'clock, is because we figured we would try to get on and do this before the Thunder game. Woo! Thunder, thunder, thunder. So, but anyways, yeah, so Brylea just informed me that we can do cool stuff that I didn't know we could do. Here, I'm going to scoop my chair up just a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Hold on.
All right.
Oh yeah, that is better.
There we go. All right. So, yeah. None of your BeesWax, featuring the Queen Bee herself. So if this is your first time joining us, this is something we do after we have race weekends and so forth. And this is our first one this season because it has been moist.
Anyway.
Yeah, this season has been wet.
For real though, we've had so many storms, so much rain.
Yeah. So we're going to cram 2 of these in. Yeah, thunder up. Thunder up. So anyways, we're going to cram 2 of these into one. So first off, we're going to talk briefly about the Cars and Coffee, or Coffee and Cars Invitational 8-Car Shootout.
Yes.
It was the first time Coffee and Cars OKC has rented out Thunder Valley for an event. I got contacted by a couple buddies of mine that are involved with the cars and coffee scene, and they asked, or actually I just asked, if we could do a little 8-car shootout for junior dragsters. So obviously I know a lot of people in the junior dragster community, and so I reached out to a few people and we got an 8-car list. We really wanted a bunch of kids that raced at Thunder Valley on a regular basis. We did absolutely no entry fee at all. It was free for the kids to enter as long as the parents paid for their spectator bands. And then we gave away $2,000, y'all. Yeah. Thanks to Exo Medical and Aesthetics in Yukon, Oklahoma for donating, Coffee and Cars donating, and Chevrolet Performance and a couple individuals donated to put $2,000 in kids' pockets. The way we actually split it was like $1,500 went between the winner and the runner-up, so it was like $1,200, $300, $150, and then like $50. So all the kids made a little bit of money, and that was kind of cool because racing is expensive. We all know that, and so it's nice to put a little bit of money back in some of the kids' hands. So we went to the event, and we did a chip draw. And who did you draw? You and chip draws. We'll get to that here in a minute.
In just a minute.
Yeah, but who did you draw in that chip draw?
First round, I drew Abigail Wilson.
Yeah, so the 2 electric cars drew each other. We race with Abigail all the time. She's a little BA, and yeah, we happened to get lucky on that one. Yeah. Get a win light, and we moved on to the next person, and next we had Toad, wasn't it?
Yes.
Was it Toad?
I think so.
I don't remember who we had next, and it doesn't really matter. But we had another kid next, and it was another. I mean, these 8 kids, there was no ducks in any of it. What's up, James? So there's no ducks in any of these kids, and long story short, we went 3 rounds. We ended up going into the finals against Danger Dane. Danger Dane pulled out a great race. It was a neck-to-neck race,
It really
and we happened to catch on the better side of it with the win light.
Yes.
And we won that Coffee and Cars $1,000 or $1,200 invitational 8-car shootout, and that was freaking rad. Since then, they've kind of reached out to me, and we're talking about doing a 64-car shootout for like $20,000, y'all. So
It's gonna be super duper cool.
yeah. So we're working on something. So for the junior dragster drivers out there, we're gonna try to do something cool here in Oklahoma City. Try to do it a weekend deal, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Give away multiple different amounts of money during the race weekend, but have one big race, 64 cars, 64 car shootout for like 20 grand is what we're kind of hoping for. So
That's
we're still
a whole lot of race money, y'all.
yeah, I mean, 20 grand will do a lot for your race program in a year. So we're going to try to figure that out. There's a lot of logistics to the 20 grand.
Oh,
so.
1000%.
What?
$5 says she can beat you in a foot race.
Who? Who going to beat me? Oh, it says you. Yeah, it says you can beat me in a foot race. I don't know, y'all. You know, I got a bad hip. So that's why I limp, right? Mm-hmm. But I ran from the po-po for a long time when it came to street racing. And when I see them red and blues, boy, that hip gets to rolling. And it's like pistons, you know, horizontally. We roll.
Okay, but like, what if there is no red and blue lights? So.
I don't know. I think I may have to pretend that there was red and blue lights. But I can tell you $5 is not enough to get my fat ass to run anywhere.
I would do it for $5.
I would not. I'm at a different point in my life. I don't need the $5 that bad.
I don't even necessarily need $5, but I want $5.
Right.
Shopping.
So Coffee and Cars won the event. It was badass. Thanks for everybody that came out and supported the event. You know, when you get people out there that haven't really seen racing, there's a lot of different things that can happen and so forth and so on. And, oh my Lord. And there was a lot of people, and yeah, it ended up running all right. And yeah, so thanks to Thunder Valley and Coffee and Cars for that. Now let's get into what everybody wants to talk about. We just got off MEGAWEEK. Mm-hmm. Rocky Mountain Raceweek has been going on for 10 plus years.
Nope, this year was the 10.
Yeah, well, the plus is now, because this one is over. Next year will be 11. Yeah, this was the 10-year anniversary of Rocky Mountain Raceweek. I don't know if you remember this, but the very first one that came through Thunder Valley, I don't remember what year it was that they came through Thunder Valley, but we went out there because that's where we met Alex Taylor. And we saw Lyle Larson or Kyle or whatever the dude's name that like took apart the S10 that had the record that just got broken this weekend.
Yeah.
The fastest pass record. So, anyways, so it was really cool. For her 13th birthday, we got her the truck. And what was the goal?
The goal was to be able to take it on a drag and drive and to be able to race it and hopefully win with the truck. I wanted to run Junior Street, and the entire point of me wanting to run Junior Street was to be able to do cool things like drag and drives and things like that.
Sorry, I was looking at my really cute puppy. One thing I did learn this weekend. Yeah, I messed that up. I like mixed the dirt racer with the drag racer, and I messed that all up. So it is what it is. Sorry, it's been a long effing week, so bear with me. One thing I did learn about the Rocky Mountain Raceweek is that if you have a really cute puppy, all the girls want to come and pet your dog. I told your mom that. I was like, man, if I was a single dude and had a gunny, I was like, it would be awesome. So Kyle Larson races dirt racing. Lyle Larson. Kyle Larson's long lost brother. Her cousin.
Oh my gosh.
So anyways, y'all. So day one of this was at Tulsa Raceway Park. We decided to take the RV so we didn't have to get a hotel room that first night. And the only way that we could do that was, since she doesn't actually have her driver's license, she just got
My
learner's permit. She couldn't drive the truck up there without me. And so we put the truck on the trailer, went behind the RV, loaded everything up, got up to Tulsa, and got parked in the mud. And we'll get to that in a minute.
That's a whole other side story.
But we got parked way out by the dirt track in the mud, where Lyle Larson's brother races.
Are we still on that?
We are. So we go out there and we find a nice spot next to Joe Tech, which was kind of cool because I remember when Joe Tech was like a little Honda shop, and so it's kind of cool to see these guys had super badass cars and a badass truck and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, we get there for day one. We get set up. We're kind of late. We only get there an hour before tech ends, but we get teched in. There's 550 cars registered. We were tech number 492.
Woo!
492, just to tell you where we were at. So, Kelly, thanks for joining in. Low income clothing. We're talking to them right now about putting some stickers on the car and getting some shirts from them. Check them out, Low Income Clothing. He's on here right now. So, but anyways, where was I at? We got there late, 492.
Tech.
So we get through tech. We did express tech, so that was really awesome.
Yes.
And I
that was a really cool part about that is that you had the ability to express tech. That was cool.
Yeah, so you had to do a video, show all your stuff, and then they just basically verified it when you got there. So we did the express tech. We got teched in. Car number 492. Got it put on there. We'll get with you for sure. But we get teched in and everything's cool. And so we go to sleep that night. We went and got some food and
those fajitas were bomb.
Yeah, we went to Abuelo's and had some fajitas, and we kind of spoiled ourselves that night. In fact, I got drunk because she was driving, so it was like, F it. So
it was lovely. Guys.
Yeah, I drank a few beers. If you didn't see the live from that night, go back and watch it because it was a good
funny.
one. Yeah, it was a good one. So, anyways, we get there, and the next morning we wake up, and all this is supposed to start at 7 a.m., and they did a really good job about keeping it on schedule.
They really did.
Yeah, obviously there was Mother Nature that had some stuff, but all in all, they did a great job of keeping it rolling.
They were really efficient with like track cleaning times, for the most part.
Matt and June did a fantastic job on running Mega Week. So just for everybody who doesn't understand what was going on, Rocky Mountain Raceweek normally has a 1.0 and a 2.0. And they were at different times of the year. Well, this year they did what was called Mega Week. And they put 1.0 and 2.0 together. They did it as a Group A and a Group B. So technically we ran Group A. So we were Rocky Mountain Raceweek 1.0. And that's where the Mega Week comes from, is because there was 550 cars, 2 different race weeks going on at the same time. Everybody took the same route, but A group had the track until in the morning, and then they drove in the afternoon, and the B group drove in the morning and had the track in the afternoon. So it was kind of cool how they did it. They did some really neat checkpoints. If you have not been, I want to say it was in Veneta that little Route 66 place was. That place is super cool. I will try to find a link to them and add it down into this video or down into the comments because it was a rad place.
Truly, it was.
If you're ever out on 66, stop.
Honestly, it was so cool. They had so many cool things. They had things you could sign or like things you could just grab and take, like freebies. It was really cool.
If you go there and you take a picture of Brylea's Don't Suck sticker and tag us in it, we will send you something.
Yes.
Because we gave 2 Don't Suck stickers to the old guy who runs it, and he said he was going to put them on there. You know you're at the right place if it's got an Indianapolis 500 C5 Corvette out front and a bunch of old cars.
I would say it was like a pacer car. The cat is stuck somewhere.
Yep. So, first day, we start racing. We get out there, first pass, we go 12.
We better not have come
We go
to
970 with a 7 was our very first pass, and
Yes.
that ended up being our index for the week.
Yes, our second pass was a 978 with a 2, I believe.
Yeah, it was a little
Somewhere up
off.
there.
We're not sure exactly what exactly happened there, but the weather had a pretty drastic
I would
change.
say it got really, really hot.
It did.
And we did add fuel, so I think all of those components together just kind of pushed me to go a little bit
So
slower.
so we took the 70 with a 7, and that became our dial for the week. And if you're not sure how Rocky Mountain works, basically what happens in the junior street class is these kids turn in their time slip from the first day. Whichever time slip they want, you get three runs. And we only took 2. You get your time slip and you turn that in, and that becomes your index. So the rest of the week, we were trying to hit a 970 with a 7. And you've got basically 3 passes at every track you go to try to hit it. And that the kid who's closest, or adult even, that's closest to the number at the end. Hey, will you get him out? Where is he?
I think he might be in my room. Do you want me to go look really quick?
Mom's going to take care of it. So the kid who comes the closest, average over the 5 tracks, that's how they determine the winner. So you're not actually racing the other kids, so reaction times didn't matter, but I can promise you these kids, it did matter. Every time we got up against Molly, y'all were nasty on the tree together. She forced you to go red twice this week, 10 red once and .001 red again. But yeah, so y'all were getting competitive. You could see it, and it was cool. But so 70 with a 7 became what? What did I miss? I missed that one.
Scroll up.
Hold on, let me scroll.
We're blind. Sorry, guys.
What it do? All right, what it do, Robert? Robert had a badass C10 on the trip. We got to cruise around with him for a little while. It's a turbo C10. It's teal. It's Tilson teal. It's so badass.
I'm still mad at him for selling our C10.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But anyways, so 70 with a 7. So we load up for day 1. The cat's about to drink your strawberry lemonade. So we load up and we head out to Flying H in Kansas City. It's actually in like Odessa, Missouri, but whatever. So we head out there, and it was only $298 drive. It's a 298 mile drive. And we got the thing. And remember, because this was the first day, and we were like, oh man, 298 miles?
It's gonna be great!
We're gonna smash this.
No, we were not.
Brylea was not prepared to see MapQuest directions. And guys, that if y'all were in 1990 and y'all had the MapQuest and you printed the shit out before you went to some girl's house that you ain't ever met, you know, that you met in an AOL chat room, so you had to print out the blah, blah, blah. What?
What is an AOL chat room?
An AOL chat room? You don't know what an AOL chat room is?
No.
Shit, boy, you used to hear the doo-doo-doo. You've got mail. Okay, so we'll talk about chat rooms off camera. So anyways, we get in the car and we start driving. They give you 7 checkpoints that day.
Yes.
And out of the 7, we only had to actually stop at 3. But we actually stopped at all 7. We did.
All of the ones that we could, because there was one that we couldn't stop at.
The drive-in.
Yes.
Yeah, we couldn't stop at the drive-in because the guy was actually playing a movie that night and was not happy about all the hot rodders pulling up going, brum, 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 taking pictures.
Yeah.
He came out and was like, can y'all please stop? So the guys running the show posted, hey, can you stop stopping there? So that was the one of the, so we only stopped at 6.
Yeah.
But we had some great stops. We ended up tagging along with some people that day in multiple different groups. So we hung out with Will in the big block with the blower, big block Suburban. We met them at the O'Reilly's, or across the street from the O'Reilly's at the Clanton Cafe. That's what it was. And we started hanging out with them and Dwayne and some of the other guys that all cruised with them, and they were super cool, and we ran into them numerous times throughout the show. We even ran into them, followed them to Durant, and yeah, MapQuest 2005 called, for real, I wish I still had, during the truck or I'd go grab one. But the instruction is printed 8.5 by 11. When you leave the track, turn right and go 0.2 miles and turn left on Highway 171 or whatever.
Like, girl,
I mean, it was nuts.
I ain't skilled enough for that, okay? How much is 0.2 miles exactly?
What's up, Brian?
Like, excuse me, I'm used to my GPS in 400 feet. Turn left.
So
okay?
So it actually worked out that she had her learner's permit, because once we saw the directions, there was no way in hell she was going to be able to get me to A to B. So she drove. I navigated. She drove. We rode along with some people. Like I said, we rode around with Will and Dwayne and them guys.
Oh yeah, and then we had Bricks and Brew, and we rode.
Yeah, we ran in and we stopped at Bricks and Brew. And we ran into Hunter Hay and his group, and
we rode with them for like pretty much the rest of the
yeah,
day.
we followed them the rest of the way. In fact, Ron Hay just popped on. So yeah, we bumped into their group and we rode with them the rest of the way in the first day, which was super cool. The gas station stops were a lot of fun. We got lost, not really lost, but we were at a gas station out in the boonies. Remember that at like super dark zero, and got some cool pictures, and it was awesome. So we finally get to the hotel at like 12:30 at night. Mm-hmm. We unload the Buramaxes and everything, and we ride them into the hotel.
Yep.
Because I mean, that's what you got to do, right? You got to bring them in the hotel. So we unloaded the truck, bring everything into the hotel. Buramaxes, chargers, tools, helmets, you know.
Everything is in that hotel room.
Yeah, so if you don't know, on Rocky Mountain, you and your driver are the only two that can work on the car. Yes.
I can't read.
So you and your driver are the only two that can work on the car. So people can loan you tools and you can buy parts and and there's a lot of details that go into that. But for the most part, you're the only two that are allowed to turn wrenches on the car, unless you're paying a shop, to do a transmission or a rear end repair or, something like that.
Yeah.
But you got to get the car there yourself. So you got to pay for towing. You got to, do whatever. Okay, hold on. Yes. Dewey Decimal System.
I know the Dewey Decimal System. I'm a book kid.
She is a book kid.
I have a library in my room.
So, anyways, that's the deal. So you got to work hard yourself. So you had to bring everything, and we tried to bring every kind of extra part and stuff we could think of. We knew we had an ace in our pocket. Just being completely honest. Mom, he's got something in his mouth.
It's right here. Oh, that's a screw or something.
All right, I'll just put it down.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
So, where was I at? Oh, we brought extra parts.
Yeah.
We knew we had an ace in our pocket because Enzo, get away from the thing. We knew we had Brian Tooley Racing going on the trip with us, and they're a partner of ours. We've talked to them for a couple years now. We're blessed that they're on board with our race program and help out as much as they do. So we kind of knew that if we needed any LS major parts, that they kind of had a truck full of parts and it would kind of help us out a little bit. Obviously, we knew we had to have a pocket full of money, and we brought enough cash that if we needed parts, we could buy some parts and blah, blah, blah. But fortunately for us, the truck ran great. We only ran into one problem.
It really did. It ran absolutely beautifully, except for the one issue. On my AC fan speed, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, but no 5. It was working fine, just no 5.
Yeah, we were sitting there on the very first day.
Yeah.
Day 1, and we had it cooling down because it was hotter than a mugger in Tulsa. And we come back into the truck, and all of a sudden there's just like no air, no fan, and we're like, what the heck? We're like, no, not on day 1!
No!
So we played with everything else. I didn't even think about turning the fan speed down. I finally turned the fan speed down, and it works. They're dogs, it's fine. I say that. I mean, like they are literally under our seat.
Yes. I can feel them moving up.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, can you let them out or something? Gunnar and Lola are having some fun. Everybody's excited we're back home. And I don't blame them.
Go outside.
So anyways, we get everything into the hotel because we bring all of our stuff. We get everything into the hotel, and Gunnar's not going outside. But we get everything into the hotel, and we get some sleep, and we get up super early, and it's really our first day at a different track, so we didn't know how early we had to be there or not. So we got there a little earlier than we needed to.
Yes.
We found a spot in the back 40 at Flying H.
We were in the back 40, like,
most of the time. The Flying H was a super cool place.
Yes,
and it was a state-of-the-art facility. But it had no bathrooms.
That is true.
Had no running water to wash your hands. Had no bathrooms. And if I could say anything about that track that I wish was different, I wish it had bathrooms. It would be a really sweet facility if it had bathrooms. I can tell you that the time board shows your 60-foot time. It shows like the time slip, right? So obviously it's a lot to try to watch the time board as you're going down the track. But if you can see your 60-foot time as you're going down the track, it kind of tells you a little bit of where you're at or whether you're tracking faster or slower. So the 60-foot time tracked up on our first pass. We were going to try to do a one and done that day because we knew we had 498 miles to Oklahoma City the next day. So we were going to try to boogie it home before the storms because there was a lot of storms coming in and we had no windshield wipers and no bed cover. So all of our shit was going to get wet, and so we were trying to boogie it home. So we were shooting for a one and done. I saw the 60-foot number pop up and I said, we're on a good pass. And I said, just keep it pinned. So we rode all the way down. We went what?
72 with the 5, I think.
Did we do 72 with the 5 twice?
Yeah.
We went like 72 with a 5. Something like that.
Somewhere around there.
We turned in a 20. We were 22 off the dial the first day.
So then 72 with a... Yeah.
72 with a 9.
Oh, with a 9.
Yep.
I'm just bad at math. Guys.
Yep. So we turned in a 22 off dial. And what that means is we were 0.022 off of our dial. So we turned it in for the first day, and we are like in first place most of the day.
Yes.
And then some kids stayed late and ran some passes, and we go from first to fourth the first day. Because some kids turned in some .10s or some .01s.
Some very, very nice, tight packages there.
Yes, there were some really nice packages there. So we knew it was game on. Like, because we kind of thought, we kind of thought that after the first day and we turned into 22, we were like, yeah. And then we saw everybody else and we're like, oh, okay. We even talked about it. We're like, okay, we're going to have to
tighten it up a bit.
Strategically tighten this up to pull off what we want, pull off a win. And so 498 miles journey we go. We turn in our time slip and here we are. We are hauling ass to Wichita, Kansas, Mel Hellborn Ford.
Yes. So I did the entire drive that day.
All 498 miles.
That was the only day that I did the entire thing because the other 2 days it hit like midnight and I had to tap out.
Yeah.
And then it was raining for part of it and I did not want to drive. This was before we had the other tires and so I was on radio so I was like, no, you know what? I think I'm good. Yeah,
so we hauled ass to Mel Hellborn and we did all the navigation and everything ourselves that day.
Yes.
Because we left really early in the day because we did a one and done. And
no, we were like weren't sure we were going the right way because we like did not see any other Rocky Mountainers. I was like,
well, we started seeing a few. That's when we bumped into the 417 Motorsports guy that had that badass car, dude. Yes. That G body is so sexy. It's like 3,000 horsepower, silver with all like kind of goldish bronze, twin turbo kit, big block car.
Nice.
Dude, it's beautiful car. So we bumped into them, and so we kind of knew we were on the right path, but like at some point we literally didn't see anybody else. We had to be one of the first cars to check in at Ford. In fact, they looked kind of funny at us when we checked in.
Yes. No, because we walked in to like use the bathroom and kind of look around, and they were setting up for tomorrow. Because so what we did is we made our pass at Flying H and left. Everyone else was supposed to make their pass, and then A and B was supposed to travel together the next day.
Well, you could do it either way you want it, but yeah, we tried to bolt. But we knew the weather was coming, and I'm glad we made the decision we did. We got home about 10:30 back to Oklahoma City that night. After we left Wichita, we bolted home to Oklahoma City because the next stop was Thunder Valley. We slept here. And then all hell broke out the next day. That was the tornadoes, the torrential downpours.
Yes, dude, and Jacoby was... This man slept through like 4 different rounds of tornado sirens. He would die in a tornado, okay?
Yeah, Jacoby stopped and spent the night and our day, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, however long he was here.
Yeah, and you know, that was really cool. But he slept through those tornado sirens. The weather was nuts that night.
It really was.
And let me remind you that this Rocky Mountain has a motorcycle class. So there was some big nutted dumbasses that were riding on motorcycles in the mother-freaking rain with trailers.
Like, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm not crazy enough for that. At least not yet.
There was a dude with a Grom that was doing this and tapped out at 500 miles.
I would say he made it really far.
500 miles before he tapped out, and he had some mechanical issues, computer issues, and had to tap out. The rain, I think, got him because I don't think his ECU and his motor swap was set up quite for the kind of rain we got.
Yeah.
So we kind of had a day off on Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day it was, the Oklahoma City Drive day, and we went and got some rain tires because at this point we kind of saw the writing on the wall that it's probably going to rain more than once. So we went and got some rain tires. Dustin at Jones Tires hooked us up with some usedies, but they were good enoughs. And that's what we called them, good enoughs. So we put them on the truck and we bolted to, or we stayed here and then we went to Thunder Valley the next morning. Thunder Valley was our home track, and we figured that if we had any chance to try to put one dead on the number, that Thunder Valley was our best opportunity.
Yep.
And how we were controlling the speed of the truck is because I'm not no tuner. I'm not pulling out the computer and changing the timing and doing this. I'm not that guy, y'all. But I am an intelligent fella, and I know how weight works. So we started playing with weight and fuel. And fuel weighs a lot in comparison, especially when you have a 22-gallon tank. You can start to play with a lot of different variances of the fuel. Yes. So that's what we started to play. So we went out to Thunder Valley. We forgot a gas can when we loaded up because they reversed the order. We freaked out. We hauled ass out there, didn't even grab all of our stuff. Had to come back to the house to grab all of our stuff. Then go get back on the route and then go down to Dallas. But yeah, so we get to Thunder Valley and we start making passes and we were fast.
I was a 10th fast.
A 10th, and that's a lot. Yeah, you can't turn in a pass like that, or you got to take a penalty, and it's a 10th the other way off of your number. So we didn't want to do that. And if you take a mulligan, it was a 10th as well, and we didn't want to do that. So we stayed and made another pass. And the second pass was a 74 with a 4, which I added too much weight. I put some tools in the back, behind the seat, and I added a nitrous bottle.
We got a lot of weight in there.
Put a lot of weight in, and I added a bunch of fuel. Well, it was too much. So we took some weight out, I did the math, and we go up there and make our third pass of the day. And it was supposed to be our last pass, and
do I get to share this?
You can do this one.
So, as y'all know, my index was 970 with a 7. I went 970 with a 3. I was 4 thou off.
We saw the scoreboard light up, and it said 970, and we were in a truck.
We're
like, yeah! And we were like, man, you go dead zero.
My throat was like scratchy after because of how loud I squealed.
Yeah, we were excited. Then they handed us a time slip, and we saw the 3 on the end, and we were like, oh, that's not.
No, because we were like pulling up the truck. He was like, you know, I really hope that was like
a 9.
A 9 with like, yeah, because that's gonna suck if it wasn't. And I pulled the slip and I handed it to him. He's like, and I was like, guys.
Yeah, heartbreaker.
Guys.
So we decided to use our fast pass, which is a card that they give you. You only get one of them at the very beginning. Everybody gets one, and it basically lets you skip in the line and make an extra pass. You can use it if you're broke down and you got there late, or if you need an extra pass for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You can't slow down, whatever. So we decided to go ahead and make a fast pass. We had a lot of friends and family that came out to Thunder Valley that day. Thanks for everybody that came out.
Yes, thank you to everyone who was there.
There's our cat.
Hi, Enzo.
Hi, that's Enzo. And we go 74 with a 9. So we ended up turning our second pass. So the 2 passes we stayed late to make didn't make no. So we had to kill that, and so not a very. We kind of wasted some time there.
We did.
But then we bolted down to Dallas.
Yes,
it was another 298-mile journey through the back roads of Texas with the shittiest potholes.
Oh my gosh, y'all. I was going trying to miss potholes the entire time.
We made it. The checkpoint that day was the Durant Casino.
Yep.
And so we stopped at the Durant Casino. We followed Will and them in, made a stop. He was having some starter issues. We kind of hung out for a little while to see if there's anything we could do to help. They were going to let the truck cool down and try to see, and we was already getting late, so we decided to go ahead and bowl. Well, right as we were leaving, we bumped into the Trans Am folks that were pitted next to us the first day.
Yes.
And we followed them all the way into Ennis until his bag popped, or the bag hose came off of his helper bags, and we had to help him with that. We get to Billy and Lucy's at 1 o'clock, 1:30.
I didn't go to bed until 1:45 because there's a giant cluck on your ceiling.
Yeah, so we go to our friend Billy and Lucy's that don't live far from the track. We spend the night there. Get like 5 hours of sleep is about all we get. Wake back up, haul ass to Ennis, and this is Texas Motorplex, y'all. We like Motorplex. It's one of our favorite tracks to race at. We have some family memories there. And we're gonna go later this week to Motorplex. So we go to figure this out. We're like, all right, cool. So we go to Motorplex. We make the first pass, and we're fast again, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as fast.
64.
I think it was a 68.
No, it's like a 64.
Okay.
But so we did the same thing we did. We added some weight. We poured some fuel in the old tank. And we went out there and made a 25. Yeah, that was the last day.
Yeah.
25. Now going into that day, we were at a .059 some. So of all the 3 tracks that we'd already stopped at, and the time since we turned in, it was .053 or 59 seconds off. The closest kid to us at that point was .099. So we knew we had to do 40 or better.
Basically, yeah.
And we saw the 25 pop up, which is like 19 off the dial. And we went and turned in that time. So we were cheering. We knew it was up. So at that point in time, mathematically, we pretty much had it locked in. Some of the kids tried to put it down that day. I think one kid put down a 004 package.
Yes.
But it just wasn't enough mathematically. Brylea had some really good runs. And we had some luck when we needed some luck. And we had some intelligence when we needed some intelligence. And we made it work. So we had that locked in at that point, and so we turned in our time slip. We did a one and done that day.
Yes, we did.
No, sorry. We were too fast the first pass, and we came back second.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Guys, my brain is not functioning at full capacity yet, okay?
Yeah, so we turned that pass in, and we left everybody because Ron and them were all going to stay that night.
Yeah.
And we went ahead and left because we wanted, if anything went wrong with the truck or whatnot, we wanted to go ahead and make sure we could get back.
Because you had to be back at Tulsa by 6 p.m. on Friday.
To break the beams. So we hauled ass back. Brylea drove. We hit the checkpoint. She drove on I-635 in 5 o'clock traffic in downtown Dallas. It was absolutely ridiculous. Drove through I don't even know what, Lavana, I think was the name of the town.
Why do people live in Dallas? Why would anyone voluntarily, however you say that, go in that traffic every day? Why?
Yeah, it was horrible. So that drive ended up taking us a while. We got back to Tulsa, parked it in the RV. We came in the gates. It was pouring rain. Brylea and I got into a big argument that night. What was supposed to be a happy moment of us coming in to Tulsa Raceway Park together turned into us fighting because we were just both exhausted and tired.
We were exhausted. It was over the stupidest thing, too.
Yeah, there was no reason for us to be arguing each other, and it turned into a big argument. So I'm sorry, kiddo.
I'm sorry, too.
It was what it was. We woke up the next morning and apologized and so forth. Went and turned in our check, our last deal, broke the beams, and got our Willy Wonka chocolate bar.
Dude, this thing is so cool. I love it.
Yep, so we got that.
With it.
And then the waiting game was on because we kind of knew we had won first place because they keep the spreadsheet all up to date. And but the awards weren't until 6 o'clock. They let everybody get back in. And I mean, there were people still showing up until like 10 o'clock at night, I felt like. I mean, there were still, but anyways, so we go to the awards. They give away a lot of awards, basically 3 trophies for every class. They had like 12 or 13 different classes. We were in Junior Street, and they finally get down to Junior Street. We're the last one, and they give us the awards, and they call Miss Brylea here for first place.
Guys, this trophy, is that in frame? I can't see. This trophy is
Yeah.
so cool. Dude, I am obsessed. It's heavy too.
Yeah,
But
and
like,
it's got little hangers, so you can hang
I
it
don't know
on the
if
wall.
they can see it on camera, but it's got sparkles in it. If y'all know anything about me, y'all know that I freaking love glitter and sparkles. If y'all see my old junior, everyone called me Skeeter. I also learned why
They
I
call
got
us-
called Skeeter.
Yeah.
We saw one on the way. But like, dude, I'm so happy with Rocky Mountain. It was such a cool experience.
Yeah.
I'll put that back there.
So we go, we get the win. They pay us a nice lump sum of money,
Yeah.
which was nice, help pay for the week. And we're just, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
The whole reason we built that truck was for that, and to make it to the end with minimal problems, and
I say we didn't break down once.
to win it on top
Yeah,
was surreal.
it really was. That's like a great word for that.
Yeah. So the last day is Saturday. They have a shootout. It's a regular style bracket race like we're used to running. The kids actually are going to race each other. They put all 12 juniors into the same group, and it was a bracket race. Winner for $500.
Vibes.
So yeah, Brylea and I were like, let's go. This is our vibe. This is what we do on a day-to-day basis. So we go up, and it was a chip draw, and Brylea's not very good at drawing chips, and draws the other kid that races juniors, that's a two-time Western Conference champion.
My bad, guys.
So we're like, oh, great. Like, the one kid that knows how to bracket race and knows how to pedal the top side and everything is who we get. So we go up there. They're in a little F-150. They treat us by 40.
Yeah.
In fact, he got the best reaction time, got $120 for that. Congratulations. But treat us. We came around him at the finish line, did a little wop, 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 and took the win. They were a little off their dial, and we snuck in there for him. I'm sure he was not extremely happy about that, but
No, he came
it's
over and
racing.
told me, he was like, that was a good lick, dude. Good job on the top side. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah, so we go on to round 2, and we draw Ryan Wing and his son.
Yes.
In the Prime Dime, the Amazon Prime Dime. That S10 is so cool.
It is.
I watched them build that thing to come and do Rocky Mountain Raceweek. They have a real similar story to us, and that was just cool.
It was cool.
So we raced the Prime Dime. They're kind of new to the bracket racing stuff, and they were on a super lick. It was a double breakout. We kind of knew the game. We gave it a little bit of play on the top side, and we snuck in there and broke out by less. And that's the point, is you either got to be off the backside of the breakout, cut them loose, or break out by less. The right decision in that situation would have been to cut them loose, but we got lucky and got the win anyways.
I thought I was going to make it in
I thought
time,
you were going to make it in
and
time,
I made it
too.
in time, so.
But you broke out.
Still
So,
made it.
but we got the win. We got the dub there. And then we go into round 3, which was semifinals.
Hold on.
Yeah, 'cause it was an all-girl semifinal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so semifinals, we
I
go
did
up
Isabella.
for the draw. There's 3 girls. It's an all-girl semifinal. It's Molly. I cannot remember the other girl's name, and that's
Isabella.
Isabella and Brylea. Brylea draws the bye.
I would say Molly had already had it, so she couldn't have it. So it was really just between me and Bella for getting it.
Yep, and we got the bye to the finals, so we go into the finals. We pull up, and we're trying to double up. I mean, like, that's kind of the ultimate thing, right? Like, you
Yeah.
win one class, but then you can do it again the next day. That
It's
just kind of
cool.
like, yeah, it kind of confirms your win on the first day, you know?
Kind of backs it up.
Yeah, it backs it up. That's a good way. So we went and go up there, and Miss B gets after it, gets a little antsy on the tree, and what happens there? On a double red light, y'all.
Okay, double red light. I was dialed way slower than she was, okay? So I left first.
61.
I was 001 red. To her, 50 red. I was dead 5.
Well, the reason why she went 50 red is because
she saw me leave and
as soon as you won, her dad started cheering, and he said he probably scared her into going red. And
I mean, I get that. It's a very real thing with him sitting in the passenger seat. He says something weird. What?
But we went 75 with a 5 on a 75 dial, so if we wouldn't have gone red, that would have probably been our race. But, I mean, who knows? There's a lot of what ifs and what ifs. But I was happy for Molly. The team Allsop, they did a great job all week. They were super nice people.
They really were.
They run a great program, have a beautiful coupe Mustang. Oh my God, it was so pretty. So we didn't win that, but we did get second place. So we got first place in the entire race week. We got second place in the shootout in Junior Street, all in a little truck that we built. We drove 1,457 miles.
Woo!
We went to 4 different racetracks. We made 14 passes down the drag strip.
Yeah.
And made it home.
With minimal problems.
With minimal problems.
Dude, it was so cool. Like, the experience of being on race week is so cool. I didn't quite understand, like, why people would go. Kind of thought people were kind of crazy, and those people are crazy. But
it's a good kind of crazy.
It's a good kind of crazy. It's so fun. Like, there's so many things that are happening. It's so cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's Rocky Mountain Raceweek for us. We came, we saw, we conquered. I mean, like, I'm just going to put it as it was. Like, that was our goal. We came out there, Miss B did her job, and now it's time to change gears.
Woo! Get ready for the Western Conference vlogs, y'all. It's going to be awesome.
Yep. We're going to Western Conference later this week. This is the race that Miss B came runner-up on last year. Super close to getting that national championship quali. We're going to give them hell this year, y'all.
Woo!
So Brylea's been feeling it. We're on a good roll, so we're just going to see what we can do and go try to close this deal out.
Yep.
So follow along in the journey. I just want to say some special thanks to Matt and June and Adam, some of the guys that ran that deal. A lot of people behind the scenes that were working in the struggle bus and different things. The guy that did Wicked Chicks and did all the free ice cream.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only other vacation I've gone on other than a cruise where I get free ice cream. And if you know anything about me, I like the free ice cream. In fact, if you go back and look at the pictures, you'll see a whole lot of pictures of me in the passenger seat taking selfies, and I'm like eating ice cream and a Sonic slushie, and like, I was vibing, y'all. Like, let this girl drive, and I was like, sitting over there in my Sonic slushie, like, vibing it up. I had a Reese's ice cream bar one time, and she's like looking over, and she's like, where did you get that? And I'm like, the dollar store.
I was like, hey, man.
Yeah. So it was a blast. We fought a little, we cried a little, we laughed a lot, and had a lot of fun. Made a lot of memories.
It was really cool. Seriously, such a cool experience.
Thanks for letting me go.
Of course.
You're my ride or die, kiddo. I'm very proud of you. I love you to death. So thank you to everybody that follows along, everybody that helps us out, everybody that may send us a sticker or send us a part, or, man, we gave out Don't Suck stickers. We had over 100 of them when we got there. We gave them all out. Like, people were coming to us and were like, do you have any more Don't Suck stickers? Don't Suck stickers, Don't Suck stickers. So we're going to have to order some more. I told some friends I would send them some that didn't get them. So we'll order some more and get some sent out. But, you know, next week's Rocky Mountain, we already did that, is Western Conference, and we're going to see what we can do. The dog wants to play tug of war. Thanks to all of our supporters, though.
Yes.
Brian Tooley Racing, guys, we had a blast. That's one of the other things I learned about Rocky Mountain, is that Jeremy Nichols' mustache never changes.
It's perfect all the time. It's just like, I didn't see it move once.
There was tornadoes, and Jeremy's out filming tornadoes, and his mustache ain't moving. Nope, not at all.
It was funny.
So, yeah, but Brian Tooley Racing, those guys are fantastic. Michael Poland at Nitrous Express. Thank you guys down at Nitrous Express for helping us out with lots of knowledge on nitrous stuff, since we're kind of new to that. We can't run nitrous on Junior Street, so we did bring the bottle just to play and purge, but we didn't actually get to run it this week. But thanks to those guys for the help that they provide. Right Trailers Motorsports, big sponsor of ours. Precision Films is wrapping the truck. We got the final design on that while we were on Rocky Mountain.
Guys, it's gonna be so cool.
It's gonna be rad.
Be ready. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, the purple people eater is gonna be purple. So.
Do y'all know how hard I fought for this truck to be purple?
Yeah, it's yours. I don't give a shit. So, Too Tall tinted our windows up in Tulsa on Friday while we were waiting on the awards. That's super cool because I had one window. This arm is darker than this arm because I had no window tint on my arm.
Mine are the same.
Look at that! Look at that sun! Look at that watch tan though. Ha got him!
Guys, I was so sunburnt in Texas because I was like, oh, you know, it's overcast. I'm gonna wear a tank top.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So Right Trailers Motorsports, everything welding and safety, Precision Films.
Hub Saver.
The Hub Savers, you know, if you don't have those or know what they are, get with me. That Trailer Dude, we sell them online, thattrailerdude.store. And every trailer needs them. So all you Rocky Mountain guys that are watching, y'all need them for your little trailers. Even though I didn't see one bearing failure on a trailer this week. I was very impressed with that. These little trailers are super cool.
I want one.
We're going to build one. We're going to build a cool one. I want to do air ride. I want to build a bag Rocky Mountain trailer that like we can pull up and we can hit a little button and it goes.
I hate that you're smarter than me sometimes.
So yeah, I think we're going to build a bag Rocky Mountain Raceweek trailer.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, also a big thanks to Bo Woody who did all my tuning before everything happened.
Yeah, we know he's not with us anymore.
That tune rode so well the entire trip.
Yeah, the truck did exactly what it was supposed to do. Like, yeah, so it sucks that he's not here, and I can call him to tell him because Brylea and him worked pretty hard on getting that all situated and getting our truck fixed up for that. So yeah, definitely appreciate that. But yeah, so we came, we saw, we conquered, we won Mega Week, and now it's we're done celebrating really, and it's time to click into second gear and go to Western Conference Finals.
Woo!
But that was, yeah, I am too. But we're getting ready to thunder up. I hear the things going on over there in the background, and I'm ready to go thunder up and watch my Thunder try to get this game too. Do what? There's Naders.
Aww.
We got Naders, y'all. We got Naders. Welcome to Oklahoma.
Heck, we got cows. I'm sorry, guys. It's been in my head all
So,
I joke about that too.
Yeah, so anyways, y'all have a great night. Thanks for watching episode 296 of None of Your Beeswax. I don't know what episode it is, but we've done a few of these, and we appreciate everybody that watches and goes back and watch. But anyways, y'all have a great night. Love y'all. Bless y'all. God bless. We out.